So Inter Pipeline has finally ruled it is rejecting that offer from Brookfield Infrastructure of $16.50 a share. Unsolicited takeover offer now officially counts as a hostile bid now that the target has rejected it. We're joined by Christian Bayle. He is the CEO of Inter Pipeline. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Christian, as ever.
Oh, you're welcome, Andrew. Happy to be here today.
So $16.50 a share, you guys say, nah, it doesn't come near to where this company is worth, especially given our plan to maximize value.
Well, that's correct, Andrew. First of all, Inter Pipeline is a great company. We have fantastic core assets that performed extremely well in a very difficult environment in 2020. The second thing is, we've seen considerable strengthening in commodity prices, both on the energy side and the petrochemical side here in recent months. And lastly, as you would well know, we're about to crystallize our largest ever growth capital investment, which is the Heartland Petrochemical Complex. This has been a 4-year build. It's on target to be commissioned in early 2022, and it's going to provide a step change in cash flow for our shareholders.
Of course, that's the real thing that drives this whole story, that investment you made, but you still haven't signed up a major strategic partner for that thing.
And the process is ongoing. And I'd like to remind everybody, finding a partner for Heartland is alive and well, and it's actually part of the strategic review that the board commissioned here just in the past week or so. So part of that strategic review is our board fundamentally believes that is the best way to maximize value for shareholders, and whether that's through a competing corporate transaction, finding a strong partner for the Heartland Petrochemical project, or another strategic alternative. Those are all in the mix right now, and the board will have more to say on that in the coming months.
And I mean, it's enormously valuable, this thing. I'm looking at a report here from IA Financial. They have your oil sands transportation business, which is the core of IPL. I mean, the traditional roots of the company, worth almost $17 a share. But they see the petrochemical plant as worth more than $9. So it's an incredibly valuable asset, potentially.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. The Heartland Petrochemical project is a fantastic investment. We've been working very hard to bring that into fruition here. And just some rough math, Andrew. We calculated based off of the current spread between polypropylene, which is what Heartland's going to produce, and Alberta propane. If this facility was running today at full operating rates on an annualized basis, based on current pricing, it would generate over $1 billion a year in EBITDA. That's double what our entire business produces. That's equal to what our entire business produces today. Now, that's on a fully merchant basis, to keep in mind, but it just shows the incredible earnings potential of this project that needs to be fully reflected in any offer for this company.
When you say fully merchant basis, remind us what that means, Christian.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. I'd really like to kind of clarify how Heartland makes money. So essentially, it's very simple. We produce polypropylene and we'll sell it into the North American market at whatever the prevailing price is. As I mentioned, currently on a merchant basis, that's about $1 billion a year of annual EBITDA. What Interpipe is doing, though, is we're creating a unique petrochemical investment commercial framework. We're de-risking that cash flow by entering into long-term take-or-pay contracts, whether it's with a polypropylene consumer or an Alberta propane producer, where we earn a processing fee, and that counterparty takes the commodity exposure. So we're happily willing to turn this massive investment into a long-term stable cash flow asset that will generate between $450 and $500 million a year in terms of processing fees, largely for us, and we'll share that upside with our counterparties, and they take the merchant exposure. So that's the basic premise here for Heartland. But as you can see, it's a fantastically profitable investment on any commercial basis.
Are you kind of pushing against the wind here, though, in the sense that plastic is not popular among environmentalists, and you're now plunging into the plastic business here? Are you worried? People are talking a lot about ESG. Big institutions may not want to be seen to be buying into plastic in a big way.
No, not at all. Heartland is exactly in the right place in terms of the sustainability narrative. First, this project was built with sustainability in mind, Andrew. We've had independent studies done on this facility, looking at the technologies we've chosen to underpin the facility. The fact we generate all of our on-site steam and electricity through cogeneration, largely burning hydrogen that's a byproduct from our PDH facility. On a global basis, the plastics out of our facility will have a GHG footprint 65% less than competing facilities. So you can see, if you want a sustainable plastics, you come buy from us. On the plastics narrative, though, I want to be clear here. The future for polypropylene is great. There's tons of polypropylene in electric cars. There's polypropylene in gowns and face masks, medical equipment, IV bags. That's the future for this plastic. It's not about forks and straws.
One other idea that IA Financial raises is you could sell off a significant interest in your oil sands transport business. I mean, that's been your crown jewel for years. That steady business of pipeline, of shipping millions of barrels of oil sands output. Would you consider that, selling off part of that to increase valuation for the stock?
Well, I'll tell you what, Inter Pipeline has a fantastic core asset base, whether it's oil sands transportation, our conventional pipeline business, our very profitable NGL processing business as well. And now our newest franchise, which is the Heartland Petrochemical Project. I think the beauty of this strategic review is that it's going to surface a multitude of potential options for the board to consider. But I want to make this clear. At the end of the day, the shareholders will choose. We believe this is a fantastic business with incredible underpinnings to it that should be highly valuable to any owner. And also, we have a very strong standalone plan. So this will all be laid out for shareholders in the coming months, but ultimately it will be their decision.